for the entire human life has been spent in such obsessions. That kind of the preserved in this sort of life, which now become a millstone to drag them down to the low realms. And sometimes people want to die or to make suicide or someone's killing, to put a very high, heavy stone to put their neck, and then it's like kind of the put into the water. They go to very direct to sink to deep bottom of the sea or the water. And like this, here is all in our life. We did some involvement of the negative activities. Then this negativity's result is coming in our own individual, the doer's shoulder. And then this doer is become, those negativities become millstones, and going direct thing into the hell, down to the low realms, like hell realms, hungry, and animals. Very difficult to go out from this inferior realms. In this perspective, it is very, very, how do you say it? Important to taking care right now. And also he says that nothing could be more effective than the trade and commerce for the piling up endless harmful actions and thoroughly corrupting use. And like there's nothing could be more effective, negative effective, from the trade, from the business, commerce, for the kind of the pile up, we can to pile up endless harmful actions. Which kind of harmful actions? And also it's like we are like something, sometimes we do negative things, and this according these negative things result some negatives. For example, we can to say is look the wolf, hawk, eagle, and cats. Those are the some is the in the past killers. Like a mouse, they say all the times in the periods like thieves. Some is a robber thieves. They reborn again mouse, because mouse all the time thief, stolen. And like this, and then it's like one negative results and occurring, and then it's like added all the time is like kind of the piling up endless harmful actions, doing again and again and again. Then that means it's a thoroughly corrupting use in your lifetime is like kind of the become corruptions and deteriorated, and it's like it's very difficult to go out. We can take example, maybe someone's doing the criminal things, and then of course country laws, this person need to go to in the prisoner. Maybe it's the first these criminal things, maybe stay 1 year, 2 years, this person can go out. But sometimes even in the prisoner, there are such doing criminal things, and then in the prisoner maybe did some bad thing, and then again maybe 3-6 years. During the 6 years they're doing things, they almost they need their lives need to spend in the horrible like prison. Very difficult to go out. Like this, and when we're doing some negative things, and then it's like this affective, we are going to into the lower realms. Then which kind of we can to reborn, we don't know. Maybe in this life we all the time is aggressive, angry, hated to others, want to kill, want to steal like this. And then maybe next life, sometimes it's a wolf, sometimes it's a tiger, sometimes it's, and also it's like many ugly animals can reborn. And there's one Dzogchen Rinpoche, and I think it's quite a few 100 years ago. There's one we call the stupid Rinpoche. Very funny things. He has some vision, and some he's making poetries, but it's a very great master, but a little bit kind of the monks teasing, but doesn't matter. He's a great poet masters. And then is and someone like there's in the village, one hunter or like kind of the one guy is died, and then the families went to Rinpoche, can you make a poet? He's laughing, so how I can to make a poet? He's already reborn. How reborn? He's immediately to like kind of the died, he become the wolf. And he says he immediately become wolf, and he went to there is one valley, and he went to there and killed one sheep and these families. Then they lived, and then the families run like same times he died to they went to their families, and then this family said, yes, yesterday there's one very strange wolves came and they killed one sheep. They ran like this. Sometimes it's like immediate some retributions. One is like thieves, and we already studied in the defects of the samsara, and why we reborn very strange things, like when we got our body, because our habitual tendencies doing different negativities, and then we can to get very strange like kind of even the body, and therefore it's like in the futures is our life and lifetimes is like kind of thoroughly corrupting. What can we do? And we need to right to do something on the when we obtained or on the in these human bodies. When we obtain the human existence, very important to urgently, quickly, and to do something. And you find is yourself continually thinking up, way to the cheat people as though you were looking through a collection of the knife, owl, or needle for the shops at tools. What does it mean? It is not really, but when you want to cheat, manipulate, make deceptive, and in order to get some is like benefit to you, and then is you have there's many kind of tools, and you have sometimes like kind of looks like you are knife, sometimes you are like kind of the well, and like kind of how do you say it's a very special knife, and sometimes you are a needle, looks like this kind of very sharp. You do other one is we shoot cheating, and you need to get, you go to there is like kind of the dog, dog is like need food and come in the front of the owner, and the tail is doing like this, and then is the owner say, okay, I give you, say, it finished, looking like this. Sometimes we are very much, some is like people, they need it, and they like kind of cheating to others. It's very much smiling and talking like this, And so once I went to in the restaurant, and with me there is one girl, and then this restaurant owner is so good business. And we arrive there is then it's like, this said to this girl, you are so beautiful. How is you become like this? Oh, take out the jacket, put there. Yes, and she's serving also. And the next time she all the time want to go to there. And she doing all the other customers. And some men say, oh, you are handsome, you are so nice. And then these kind of people like very much. And they like kind of how do you say, bring to customers. And very much it's like successful. And like this, it's when we are making manipulate to the like others in order to get some benefit and to make the business, and then you become like kind of the many kind of how do you say tricky things. In Japan, it's a very very famous. They say it's the tanokism. Tanokism means it's a raccoon dog. And his coming is very hand is very nice, and then this animal needed sake. They drink a lot of sake, and to get some food and coming and to show. Sometimes they like showing stomach, front, and to looking like very charming way. And then they give food, and then every day is coming. Sometimes the people say, this person is like a tanuki. That means it's like a very much charming, deceptive, it's like kind of manipulator. And like this. This sort of is also we need to kind of taking care and to be very much honest, to very much direct. And also it is kind of sometimes it's negative things. And also it's like when we need, we have become very kind, very we don't need, get rid of like this. In says sometimes in Europe, like when your friend is very rich, maybe when you are rich, you are powerful, you have a lot of friends. And certainly you are something problems, and maybe it's like you become poor, or maybe you a little desperate, all your friends disappeared. And like this, one is like you have kind of healthy everything, they need something, they're coming to you, give to you. And last time we studied, you remember, sometimes it's like friends, families, and the first you met is really give each other very much. Certainly something they changed. Like this, in Tibet we have kind of the idioms. Some man is like cheaters, manipulators. They all the time showing the white teeth, like this. Looks like smiling, charming. It looks like kind, but very dangerous. And some is like we say is manipulator, cheater, ladies. They all cry. And then it's like kind of the sympathetic. Therefore, it's like a different way of the cheaters. And some is not really cheater, very much honest, very much loyalty to you, very much sometimes sympathetic. They never show you the white teeth, and it's very much direct. We say if someone doesn't show you white teeth, but maybe very much honest to use it. Someone's showing to you white teeth, but dangerous. And like this, sometimes we also become like this. When we need something from the others, then showing the white teeth, smiling, and then it's thinking different ways, manipulating. This is also, it is like kind of the stealing, same as, and better to kind of, to, how do you say, to be honest, I say. And the brooding endless over harmful thoughts, you turn your back on the bodhicitta, ideal of helping others, and the precious acts multiply pernicious, pernicious, I think, pernicious or pernicious acts multiplied to infinite. It's like a kind of the too much thinking business, to like kind of to cheating others, and also it's like too much kind of the manipulating to others, and then it's like a kind of like a brooding endless over harmful thoughts, and thinking is negative. It is like all the time, sometimes very much, and this kind of we want to be details all the times, which is best I can to get. It is never you can to give chance to the others. First times I want to get, and then to others. If we can't get ourselves the first most important things, then we are not happy. We are crying. We have like anger, hatred, desire, and many things. Therefore, it is like then it's too much concerning self to business ways. Then it's really broad, endless over harmful thoughts. All the time is arrive. The harmful thoughts arise, then you turn your back on the bodhicittas, compassion, bodhisattvas, or bodhicittas, ideal of the helpers. Ideal is like kind of good-hearted, kindness, and its cheerful mind is disappeared, like in the morning star. You have become more and more sensitive, fragile, and it's like a kind of aggressive, and like a kind of become the escargot. And helping escargot, we say escargot, fox, and also it's like the raccoon dogs, and cheating to the others very much, and helping others disappeared. You're like kind of the pernicious act, means it's like kind of it's a, how do you say, it's like a negative kind of the acts. It's become the multiply infinite. Then it's like, and the inside is negative mind. Then body, verbs, activities is negative. And therefore its negative activity is the multiply and infinite. And it's like grow up more and more, and then it's like therefore we say it's endless harmful actions is occurs, and then it's like endless of the we are suffering in the lower elements, and therefore it is very important to taking care about the taking what is not given. Also has to the included the 4 elements already explained for the negative actions to be completed. Like kind of the, how do you say, there's a 4 element need to complete, even the when we are stolen things. Of course, that is the like completely heavy negatives. Maybe we can do say first time is you think, you recognize the things. For example, if I see that the glasses, it's I have desire. This glasses. I have the notion of this material, these glasses. This is first element we can to say. Second, intention. I cannot buy, but how I can to manipulate it to get. Maybe it's the forcefully, or maybe in the secretly, or maybe it's a tricky way. And to some is like say, maybe if this is owner, someone's owners, say, that's nice. Maybe it's my eyes problem. It's okay. But inside I want to get this. And then other ones slowly, yeah, if your eyes problem, I can give, I got it. like this kind of to how do you say, it's like this one is the intention, and then is a second is really to acting, as I said, it's like really go to there and to really how you can to get. Then finally you got it, you separated this owner of the glasses, and glasses you separate it belong to yourself. Then there's the four element of the negative actions to complete it. Then it's a really it's like it's negative actions. For example, if you say it's like forcefully you stealing, how is the four element is completed? And this four element is first time is maybe you have powerful, oh, I want to take out this land, maybe this properties, maybe this family's belongings, and I have this power, I will go to there to take away. Then first you recognize the things, and the second is like you have intention to get that, and thirdly you're acting, you go to there forcefully, I need to take, you are happy or not happy, taking away. And the last, you completely separate, the owners lost, and the owners cannot do nothing, cry, okay, they took my property, my thing, belongings. Then this, the drover is like these stealers, is forcefully, completely four element, but reality is such kind of the negative actions. And like this. And also in the secretly, if you do, of course, and first to recognize, and second you act, and third one is like tension, and third one is like you are going to which part, maybe I will through the window, maybe top of that. Some is like to searching where how we can to get like this. And then secretly you go to the, when you got then four elements, you completed, then it's really, this is the negative action of the stealing. And also it's like a stupidity you do, and like this. And also it's like, how do you say, tricky way is like this. And however, any participation down to mailing offering, hunters or the thief, some food for their expedition, it's enough to bring you an equal share of the defects of the evil action of their killing or stealing. And here is like more talking about, for example, and during the like someone's killing, maybe you is like rejoice it, maybe you give a condition, and it is like how you can to support. And there is one person, he before he was a monk, and then it's like one day he's going to in the benefactors to make a puja. There's a service. They went together in the mountain, passing by, and suddenly they saw the one wild cats. How do you call that? Very short tail, and has kind of, there is very much cute, but these skins before is very expensive. And then this tendency is just the lay person say, I want to kill it. No. And then it's like, certainly, can you help me? You don't need to kill it. Okay. And then this horse is to running to after the chasing these animals. And then it's like the animal, this cat is between the two horse riders coming. And they haven't got any weapons. And then this the lay person is very stupid, and he says, how can I, if I'm jumping from the horse, animals, the cats run away. I cannot to the reach. And then it's like certainly other one. It's too much clinging, it's very selfish. He said it's like not direct, says. He says in the saddle, in the both side, when you put feet, there is like an iron one hook. You put your feet, I don't know the names. Saddle you have. You know, you put feet and then you riding. This one is, I don't know how do you say it in English. And he says like, maybe this iron take out to beat this animal. But I don't want to say you hit to kill or not kill. But this one is quite useful for weapons. He give idea and this. And then it's like kind of this lay person killed. And later it's like someone says, the lay person killed, but reality killer is this other ones. And this monk. And like this, sometimes it's like, even if you give condition, you is like a very manipulatively kind of avoid, but indirectly you are ordered this. And then it's the negative effect you need to kind of the same. And you have, this is in the during that we're talking about the negative action of the killing, is like kind of each singles whoever rejoice to someone's killing, you have full to get the negative effect. And also here is we say it's like the participation. Maybe it's someone is like very funny things, someone going to rob in the ancient times. And it's like I don't know, this is really, but it's like in Tibet we have like cowboys. In America, we not cowboys, it's America cowboys. In Tibet, yak boys. And they sometimes thieves go to say, we're going to thief, robber, and like this. And maybe there's some conditions, maybe we need, can you support to ours? Maybe it's we can to share. Maybe I'm going to rob the banks. If I got a lot, but I need some condition, can you give me something? Conditions. If you participate, and then it's exactly also you received some is negative. Maybe sometimes food, some is like expedition means, some is like condition you give. This enough bring you the equal sharing of the effect of the negative evil actions. And therefore it's like any kind of the negative, someone's doing the negative action of the taking a life or taking or stealing as others' belongings, and any kind of, if you connectors, even the connectors, they are kind of receive such negative effects, and like this. And then next one is 1.3 is the negative action related to how do you say our body, is called the sexual misconduct. And sexual misconduct is, there's many different type of the sexual misconduct. Here is the says, rule that follow are the four lay persons. And this is normally, it's like the rule for the lay peoples. Lay people is like kind of the normal peoples. Here is in Tibet, during the reign of the Dharma king, the Songtse Gampo, law based on the 10 positive actions were established, comprising both rule for the laity and rule for the religious communities. And this sexual misconduct, it is like like kind of the, how do you say, moral discipline in the both the perspective. For example, laity is like a normal, like kind of the lay practitioners. And also is the religious community, means it's like a kind of the Dharma practitioners. You can to say monks, nuns, and lamas, so on. And it's the 10 negative activities. And also not only for the Dharma practitioners. During the transcendentation, he is like kind of the give law to the Tibetan peoples. Principally, it's like 10 negative actions. Whoever to do the 10 negative actions, they like kind of against the country law. And it's everybody's need to like kind of follow up the 10, to stop the 10 negative actions. And also it's particularly in the sexual misconduct. And this is the very much to rule to the any kind of the perspective. It is not a kind of religious communities. It is also laities. And here is the meaning talking about the sexual misconduct. It is like to harming to the other things, not like kind of the doing proper way, and cheating, make sufferings, making problems, and to making the separations, and to like painful things, doing things. Then it's like it's not very good. This therefore is like we're talking about sexual misconduct. And then it's like also next one is there's English. I don't know in your English, in the Russian word, can you check, okay? And there's a say that here we are referring to those restriction on the behaviors distinct for lay people. This is one paragraph. And second one is who as the householder should follow on appropriate ethics. Maybe one paragraph you don't need. Maybe first one is you don't need. And second one is like who as householder should follow on appropriate ethics. This Tibetan tina chimbayo tondon dembashi goose these sentences. I don't know, maybe there's two. Do you have each your this in the translations? In Russian it's not only one, yes? Okay, that maybe last one is quite good. Who as householder means is a laity. Laity is a man or woman. It doesn't matter. Any kind of the laity persons also should follow on appropriate ethic, to follow other sexual misconduct. Very important to keep this appropriated ethics. And of course, the monks and the nuns, or the like kind of the someone is follow the religious like a kind of the moral discipline is absolutely cannot say. For their part, are they expected to avoid sexual act altogether. And that means it's like the monks and nuns, they should to abandon any kind of sexual activities, everything. It's like kind of authorities. And then is the aggravated sexual misconduct is that of the leading other people to break their vows. This is like most like the gravest sexual, very heavy, very kind of negatives. And we already, when we investigate, when the health, and it's like someone is like comes from the vagal hell of the torment, and then there is like the Shamali mountain, the Shamali mountains, in this hell, the hell of the Shamali tree mountains, it is like most like kind of the reborn. If someone's break their own like kind of the vows, break their own vows. Maybe it is like, can you give a condition to that, to lose like the vows? And it's like kind of the any kind of the vows. Maybe it is like a kind of the physically vow, mentally vows. And also there's many different vows. Individual liberation vows may be more connected to the sexual misconduct. And also in the Bodhisattvas vows, also is connected to the sexual misconduct, but more it is the more mentally. And also in the Vajrayanas, its vows is connected to the, of course, sexual misconduct. The but is like more absolutely mentally. And like this, particularly here, it is like more based. It is like kind of the individual liberation vows. And that time is like more physically. And physically, if you to do that, some is like a activity of the sexual misconduct, it is very, there's many different types of doing the sexual misconduct, but if you give condition that making the break, then someone's vows, and that is the most, like he says, the grievous sexual misconduct. And that is like, maybe it is like how do we say, it's like kind of the according to desire attachment. It is like a kind of to making kind of the making break the vows. And there's many different way. It is like sometimes when we have very much strong desire attachment, and of course any other kind of the clinging, craving, and through that then you give a condition to making the vows. It's like this. And that is like a really heaviest. For example, sometimes we can take example. Some monks is like they have ordained or like fully take the individual liberation vows. And this is not only the sexual misconduct. It is maybe it's like 250 vows there is. Maybe it's like you give a condition maybe to kill something, and then you break the vows. Or maybe it's like physically, sexually, you can to do this to lose. It's like to make him break the vows. It's like this. And also it's like this kind of the monks may be disturbed by the kind of the like females. And also it's like some nunneries, monasteries, some males, and go to there to disturb, to making the break vows or something. That is the, of course, it is the principle. But not only the physically. For example, you like kind of the give condition to kill, to thief, to other things. Then is drink, alcohols. Also, it's like you break vows, and therefore it's like many different type of the sexual misconduct, and also how you can to break vows. Here is more physically to talking about. Here sexual misconduct also included acts associated with like kind of the particularly person, and placed and circumstances. Maybe it's like you give, and to some it's like condition in order to break the vows. And also it's like a mischievance, also is sexual misconduct. You using kind of your own different part. And this how do you say, it's like mischievation, I don't know this. Okay, but it's sexual relationship with the other person who is like kind of the married. Of course, that is you as like kind of splitting marriage, go between there is. And all the time, this is a very, very much kind of the dangerous things. And it's really like kind of the awful things. For example, someone's really too married, they have children, they have properties, and then it's someone's go between there is you separated. How much children is sufferings, how much is conflicting, how much is the sufferings. And this kind of, if you do the sexual misconduct, is a very, very heavy. And it is like, therefore, it's someone's married, you do physically, it is very bad. And also, it's like the committed to someone's else, committed, and someone's, and also that there is like the persons who is the, oh no, there's two in the kind of, someone is like belonging others. That is maybe I want to say more, persons who is the married means it is like someone's things, or someone's like belonging. For example, wife is belonging the husbands, husbands is belonging the wives, and then someone's like kind of the take it away, used like different way, is a big kind of the sexual misconduct, and that is the negative. And also it is like sometimes it's like committed to the, maybe it's like someone else. Also it's like same is like this, someone means it's like belong to someone, and then you thief, robber. It's, sometimes it's like this, it's ugly things is happened. And someone is like you, I mean, it's like kind of honestly to tell in this our societies, it is like when you are like married, and then it's like you call that as a couple, and then it's like you are not really honest your own partners, and like kind of nothing support, and like kind of the already involvement there at the such, but you not kind of supporting, very much kind of artificial, and maybe it's like a kind of pretendingly to say, yeah, it's like kind of, but inside you have such a desire, and the behind you are running to the after the other things, and you have like kind of meet to the others in the behind, and you are very much hungry doing things. This kind of so many ugly families is like doing like this, and this is like kind of committed to the someone else. This is like kind of the doing them. For example, like a good some laity person to have the ethic. Really, if you are kind of the marriages, and they need to supporting each other, it is the most very, very important to be honest, to be direct, to be no need to shames. And it's like a kind of to say, it's like a, if you are like kind of the offered to the your families, your bodies, anytime it's like a kind of the making joke. In Tibet we say it's like when you married, you be together, some is your partners, half your body is you offered to that person, and half is maybe your freedom, half is offered. And then it's like there's to be honest, to be really like kind of serious, supporting each other. And then is the families become wonderful. It is like this. Sometimes the families is not helping, and you already involvement, you already married, already spent, everything is mixed, and then it's like you doing it behind, and the front of your families, you looks like very much kind of the authentic way. You doing not necessary things, but behind running very, very ugly. That's we need to taking care. And of course, it's like if you don't create the family, that is a freedom. If you created very much taking care of them, sometimes it's like ugly things in my life, many times to see. I haven't got nothing this kind of happened, but it's like someone's both sides very much honest, and then it's relationships very nice, and the whole life is enjoyed. When they have children, they are very, very happy. And children is like a pure land, very much happy. And then it's like there's like a kind of the partners, honest, supporting, and they are kind of the realism. Someone is like kind of the, there's one person, one lady says like, the complaining, disturb, beating, and doing something is emotional thing. Then it's the partner, husband say, why you are doing like this? I'm very happy. I love you very much. When I'm emotional coming, I'm honest. I want to complain, I want to disturb you, I want to knock on you, I want to do whatever. You are my choice. And then it's like the partner, the husband say, yes, wonderful, you do whatever you want. Then it's become the more kind of good relationships. Maybe that's a kind of the benefit. If you have like something, not there's no problem. Therefore, it's the committed, you committed, let engage. It's like kind of the, you are like commitment to say life is to spend together. That is the really is, of course, it's not practitioners, it's laity's ethic, and someone else. And also there is another one, is like kind of the, I don't know this was translated or not, and you kind of the sexual misconduct, you give something, money you using to the other's body or physically, and absolutely on perpetuity. It is also sexual misconduct, it's a negative. Or the like kind of the, with a person who is the freak, and someone is like maybe is the freak, but to the broad daylight during the observation of the 1 day vows. And it means it's like a kind of the free, but it's like kind of maybe very much this is a kind of the ancient style. And maybe in the modern days, if you, that is sexual misconduct, I cannot do follow up it. But it doesn't matter, it's like a kind of a little bit to have the rule. Laity persons has a little bit ethic, sometimes very fantastic, and it's like a kind of we can to say we love to eat chocolate, okay, love to eat chocolate. Chocolate is very delicious, like a kind of the countless you eat every day, you eat it, maybe become sick, maybe hesitated, and one day it's like when you call the chocolate, it's like this. A little bit to have discipline, to wait, to do, then like to eat properly, then it's become more relevant, more delicious, like this. During the observation of the 1 day vows, and sometimes it's like they have different times. Maybe it's like someone's take there's like kind of the vows, and particularly there's some special puja. You make the like kind of 1 day you eat, 1 day you don't eat. This you can take the vows for the day. Maybe that's 1 day or the 24 hours days. And that time is also you need to take care, don't necessarily to break vows like this. And during the illness, and someone is like maybe very much sick, and the kind of the problems, and also it's like distressed. I think it's, this one is maybe is also exetus. In Russian, do you have this distress? I don't know. In English, you have in your book distress, and maybe it's not necessarily. You haven't in Russian. Okay, it is distress maybe, and of course the pregnancy is like some is like a kind of the pregnancy, and it's also sometimes sexual misconduct. There are many different. And also it's like the bereavement. I think the bereavement means someone is very much suffering. Maybe lost a father, mother, someone's like kind of such huge sufferings. And then it's during these sufferings you like disturb. It is same as the sexual misconduct. And also it's like these menstruations. Menstruation is like sometimes it's like kind of problems, and particularly in the female situations. And also that is a kind of sexual misconduct. And also all the recovery from the childbirth. And also that is like maybe it's not really completely recovered something. And this is also during the sexual misconduct. In the place where the physically representations of the three jewels, like a kind of the statue of the Buddhas, maybe it's that the text of the like things, and also this kind of maybe is doing some sexual misconduct is incorrect, he says, present like this. And with one's parents, it's absolutely father and mother, so like a son and daughter, so on's this kind of sexual misconduct is very much negative. And others like the prohibitive. And maybe it is like a kind of the family's members. Someone has like kind of the how do you say, it's like protections. Prohibit means it's like kind of like they and kind of to follow up tradition, and you break this kind of tradition, and also sexual misconduct. And all is like kind of the this one is difficult, prepubescent child. It's like we can use easy ways, non-maturated, like kind of the girls or the like child. This kind of sometimes very much ugly things in the Western sometimes happened. And not only that, everywhere is like children's. Some is particularly, some is like males is doing this kind of very big kind of negative actions. In the month or the anus, mouth and anus and so on, this kind of sexual misconduct be very important to take care. And there is one Tibetan sentence is not translated. There is such a kind of the experience of the different type of the sexual misconduct through the like kind of the place or the time or the different situations. That is just I translated. This one is maybe you haven't got. You have or not? Okay. There's one Tibetan, one sentence is not translated. And I checked many word of my perfect teacher, there is existence, but this experience, different sexual misconduct, through the like kind of the place or the times, or it's like some different situation, a little bit like a kind of the above these situations. Sometimes place may be the representative of the three jewels, and like a kind of times maybe it's like not to recover of the rebirth, or maybe it's during the like kind of the, some is like the ending of the month, and some is like kind of this kind of, or the situation is maybe someone's very much sad, suffering, is on purpose. This kind of to experience, there's many different sexual misconduct is not very good. Okay, maybe we can do a little bit to stop, okay? We can start 11:45. quarter to 12, quarter to 12, quarter to 12. It's not necessarily to bring upstairs. This maybe is like English way. Okay, 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 good. Now we can to study a little bit the three negative actions related to the verb. And the first one is you call the lying. Lines. Lying is of three sort. Three type of the liars, lying. Ordinary liars, major liars, and funny lamas liars. Funny lamas liar, I'm not sure. I want to say it's different. Like funny lies. Okay, later we can do. But anyway, there's three type of the lying. Ordinary, and the major lying. Huge, big, extreme. Then is the funny lamas lion, means it's like what do you call the do you understand funny lamas? Funny? What does it mean? Phony. Huh? Huh? Phony, yes. Like dissimulated.
Dissimulate.
What do you think, this one?
Dissimulate. Dissimulate.
Okay, yeah, then it doesn't matter. Maybe we can do more. The phony lamas liar means it's like kind of the potentially and kind of has a position of the lamas and telling something not really truth and like potentially looks like realized or it's like holy or something like this. But anyway, later is coming. And first ordinary lies, these are the many. Any is like an untruth statement made with the intention of the deceiving others people. Like ordinaries, there's many different ways Like, for example, we already studied during the business. And fake things you say is like truth. And there's a kind of the ordinary liars. There's many different type of the liars. Maybe you would say it's a big liar, and ordinary liars is like I can choose to make a kind of the joke. Okay, when I was in the Dzogchen in my village, there's one person, and he lied. He don't like there's 3 boys. 1 or 2 is almost his nephew, yes. And then he doesn't like. And then he thought, what can I do? And then he big lied. And he told to this chief of the head of the village, says, you taking care of them. These 3 boys, they are preparing, they want to kill you. And then, of course, this chief is very much suspicious and angry. And then his meeting times, some is like young boys want to kill me, but why you want? Then they say, everybody thinks what he's talking about. And then it's more and more close, more. Then he said, I want to make a court. And then he's become a little bit nervous, but anyway, more talk. And then it's like this chief says, like, this person's talk to me, the guy. And there's 3 guys, they're preparing and they want to kill me, but if you are voluntarily to come to me, says like why you want to, and it's okay. If you not tell me voluntarily, if I point out, then we have big kind of problems. He said like then of course nobody's voluntaries, nobody's did. And then it's like finally, then he said you need to tell, and if you don't to tell, point out. And then it's like are you sure? Again this chief said yes, this. When you say that, in that he's told to place and the time and everything, then it's like this chief this point out these 3 guys. And then is how we can to make a court while you are preparing in this place, this time. And then these 3 boys are very angry, upset. We never planned like this. Why? Who say like this? And then they are arguing. And then he still say, yes, 3 of you told to me. And then they cannot to like that. Then it's times. They check times. And he said that these times, these days, these 3 boys are not in these areas. And he make kind of the very funny things. When I'm coming to here, I met 2, 3 of you. You talk to me. After I'm coming a little bit. There is one red, like a right horse, and sitting there and lying there, and he's like chewing grass. And the horses never chewing grass again. Okay. Only by young cows. And then this chief is a little bit strange. Why are you talking? And then to check everything, it's a completely false. He lied. And then finally, it's like, why you lie? Then he says, sorry, because I don't like these 3 persons. And like this kind of ordinary liar to believe to the others, and to make the kind of the split and making big problems. This kind of how do you say, untruth statement made with the intention of the deceiving other people's really kind of believed. And like this kind of liar is like not very good. Then major liars, these are the statement such as this is major. Why it is the major lies? Because it's example that is the no benefit in positive actions and no harm in the negative ones actions. Say, like a kind of the no causalities. It's like a kind of it's during the revolution in Tibet, communism. They say this no like spiritual path, or no three choose, no negative or no like positive, whatever, there's no karma, whatever you want to give this kind of more and more educations, then people kind of believed. This sort of, sometimes people really, even now, these days, sometimes this kind of happened. Someone says like kind of no benefit, whatever you positive things, useless. And whatever you are negative acts, then nothing result. Where is the kind of connections? Particularly someone's study a little bit emptiness, philosophic things. And then they really don't understand the reality of the empty nature. Something is like everything is nihilistic way things. Oh yeah, it's virtue, no virtues are emptiness, nothing there result. Whatever you want, you need to do it. This kind of hypocritical or like very much negative liar, like a kind of the major is like this. I make the joke, in Tibet there's sometimes one guy's become like this, there's no karma, blah, 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 blah. Then in the village, one guy, he cannot debate. He's very much he never studied, but he believed very much. And he said, karma existence. He just kind of demonstrated. You can't say like this. This sometimes in the modern or some is like it's many like this. I think most human beings is become like this. But this is obviously, normally, when we think about the positive and negatives, obvious. And for example, positive medicines. Even this negative pandemic, we are searching for the positive of the medicines. And any kind of the sickness, do you have antidote? And this antidote of the medicine, when you eat, can you cure or not? If you say cured, then we should believe positive things. And when you eat the poisons, if you become sick or not sick. If you're not sick, okay, then it's negative actions. There's no kind of the one, result. And therefore, karma means it's like sometimes, as I said, very large, abstract. Many people, they think, like some person. It's not like this. It's the positive and the negative our own actions. That is the name of the karma. And then someone's maybe this sort of, it's 100% more and more appear. For example, in our Westerns, probably I don't know, to believe many people about the karma? Not at all, yes? We don't know. In Russia? No, I mean, it's like a Buddhist people, of course, that's the karma. For example, generally speaking, I don't become the Buddhist, okay? What they consider karma. This is general, like it's a no Buddhist people think like this. But it's mostly it's like when you say the karma means it's like, for example, I was in Moscow. One guy came to in the Galina's place, specifically want to provoke me. And this person says like, I don't believe that any karmas. When I doing the good things, everything's going well. And if I'm doing bad things, everything's going bad. Where is the karmas? It's you are great practitioners. This is karma. I said, no, you mean karma is something. Then it like this. And these days, like when you're talking about positive and negatives, many people hate it. It is like a reality. We are very much rely on the positive and negative things. So because it's like a positive means it's like a positive activities, and result is positive. And then we be obviously to be, this morning we are chatting, if you kill someone, it's negative or positive? Generally, in the language perspective, it is negative. And why you call the negative? Because maybe it's the consequence. You kill to the other one, this being is also is sufferings. And the suffering is occurring, it's negative. Maybe murder itself also is like kind of the consequence, is the maybe suffering. Maybe you need to go to the like kind of the maybe in this life prisoner, maybe it's the other some like a revenger. Of course, when we are like kind of stupid way, we think animals hasn't got consciousness. Animals is no need to concerning, and they say, of course, sometimes even that we make mistake. You know, maybe even the 50, 60 years ago, some countries, they brought African people to put in the zoo. And we have sometimes stupid things doing. African people as human beings, not animals. But they think it's the chimpanzee or something animals. Very sorry. It's this kind of like lack of the understanding. Sometimes or animal is a vegetable, vegetation. Doesn't matter. There's no positive, negative when you do so. The only that you kill the human being, disturb the human being, that's no like the positive and negative. If someone's proclaim, maybe someone's lying to say no benefit in positive actions, no like kind of harming in the like negative actions. This kind of big, huge liar, and maybe it's like a kind of no God, no, it's like the three jewels, no need to follow, no nothing there is, and then you know exist, I'm not existent. Then what? Then it's a completely follow up the shut-upism. I make joke, this kind of occurring. What am I saying? So often we need to talk. Even in Tibet, many now more and more increase don't believe causalities. And also in Europe, I don't know, maybe it's some religious perspective. For example, Christianity, the Islams, Hinduisms, and of course they also is the talking, but I don't know. And maybe it's like a non-religious perspective. Of course, we lack of the understand and positive result, negative result. We don't know. We are just doing like, I need to make nice my life. I need support to my families. I need to earn money. I need to get something. And then it's you killing, stealing, like doing dinner. Why not? It's, if I get some benefit, I won't do it. Like ancient time is like many warriors, like a kind of the, how do you say, fighters, powerful kings, powerful soldiers, powerful robbers, burglars. They go to different, they rob or kill, and like this. They just think, okay, I'm like kind of powerful, okay, I'm clever, I'm like kind of like a special, I did like this. And if you're talking about negative, this is negative, they hate it. What do you mean negative? And you got it, this gold, you got it like this. But it's the final reality is negative, because others are the sufferings, lost family, lost many things, everything. But therefore we are says like thank you very much for the Buddhas. He got it like this kind of really great truth for speaking. And if you are like kind of the don't believe into the causalities, rebirth, and also it's like you are considering make distinctions between human and the animals. It's mistakes. Even in the human societies, someone's very superior, someone's very inferior. Maybe someone says man is more superior, woman is more inferior. This sort of distinctions, races, Buddha, he said, is ridiculous. All the sentient beings is basically equal. We need to concern. It's like I discovered this. It's a truth, very much a truth, wonderful things. And that is very much appreciated. For example, if someone's really follow up the causalities, wonderful things, and therefore someone's lying to us to say, so, oh, no benefit in the positive actions, we need to say, shut up. And if someone says, oh, there's no harm in the negative actions, we need to shut up. And then if says, what are you doing? Oh, I'm follow the shutterlism. I never follow to use. Really is even in Tibet in the modern times, many is people is coming, particularly some from the universities, and also it's like some in the Buddhist university, and someone is like they studied and then they say, practice things useless, and to be is like kind of this, and 100% in the future in the Buddhist communities like this, big expectations, and they try to want to become it quickly. Trungpa Rinpoche says like a kind of someone's using the spiritualities in order to get some benefit themselves. And they want to become enlightenment. Why? Because they want to control like to the others. And then it's like they'll get the titles, get some personal benefit. And he says it's a very much like problematic ways, problems, because it can destroy the personality, destroy the kind of citizenship, destroy the life. Like this kind of sometimes is like someone's studied a little bit of philosophy, maybe emptiness, but not fully understand, do not understand, and then says, oh, there's no karma, positive you do, negative do, same. And sometimes it's like kind of thinking about the nature reality. Look, equal everything. You do positive, negative. In the nature anti-perspective, there's no existence. It's all wrong way. For example, Guru Rinpoche say your views may be more higher than the sky, but your activity is more tiny than the flowers, like kind of say. And therefore, this kind of liar is coming. We need to take care. There is no happiness in the Buddha field and no suffering in the lower realms. Or the Buddhas have no good qualities. This kind of such a kind of liar is coming, and it is like a huge liar. And there are the like kind of called major liar, because no other liar could have more devastatingly, I don't know this one, misleading consequences. And this kind of like a so strong liar is like worst lion. It's really is a kind of the misleading. It's many people. I was amazing because in Tibet there's a few guys who came like this, and then there are many followers. They say it's a truth. Where is the positive? Where is the negative? Karma has no existence. Then they cannot follow. Then this person say cannot debate, but karma is existence. They like this, like misleading. Then is the consequence is the hell and hunger goes, animal animals. Maybe it's also sometimes 100% this kind of person finally big kind of the problems. And if you like telling like this sort of sometimes ourselves we need to take care. If someone's like kind of telling like we never need to follow up, this kind of liar is take care. Okay, now do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you, Rinpoche. Helen Galushko asks, Rinpochela, tell about the 5 pranas that Rinpoche mentioned in the last lecture.
Okay, 5 airs: upper air, down air, life force air, and pervasive air, the holder air of the vital, your the kind of the in your body. Yeah, then you don't need to more talking about the energy of the air. Forget it. And other questions?
Thank you. Masha asks, does the karmic result we receive entirely depend only on our mind's actions, or depending on conditions, will there be difference? For example, if I have the same motivation of aversion and due to that I use harsh words towards 2 beings, one is an ordinary person, the other one is a practitioner. First person will become very upset and maybe also angry, but practitioners practice the 6 paramitas, so he may just laugh and remain in peace. Maybe his peace and compassion become a good condition for my mind, and my anger also disappeared. My mind in both cases was moved by my aversion, so cause was the same, but the conditions are different. Will there be a difference in karmic results that I should experience?
Yes. One is karmic result in Russia, one is karmic result in Japan. That's all.
Thank you. Namka Lamo from Russia asks, if we commit a negative action in a dream, often during special days and Sojong days, how can we purify it and how can we protect ourselves from it?
From?
The negative actions in a dream.
Oh, yes. And during the sojourn, you need to confess. If not to confess, also is a consequences coming. Therefore, you should to practice often and often sojourn.
She also asks, it was said during the teaching that an owner of an animal shares the karma if the animal kills other beings. Does it mean that in the same way we share the karma of the beings we are responsible for, our children, partners? Do the teachers share the karma of their sangha?
Yes, totally.
From Sergei Gostevsky, what should we do if we have planted a garden in a common yard for many houses, fruit trees and flowers for the benefit of several hundreds of people living in the neighboring blocks of flats, and now these plants are slowly being destroyed by insects? We can only save the garden by destroying the insects. So what can we do?
Follow up the shut-upism.
Thank you. Dasha Gusheva asks, is it considered to be improper sexual conduct if one free person has relationship with a monk, nun, or someone's wife, husband, who hides the fact that they have couple or monastic vows?
I don't understand. Can you read again?
Is it considered to be improper sexual conduct if one free person
Three
as
person.
free person.
3 person. Okay.
Free person.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Free.
Okay, free person. Okay, okay. Okay, free person.
So, if this free person has relationship with a monk, nun, wife, or husband, but this particular person is hiding the fact that they have these vows or is in a committed relationship.
Hiding, yes. If you don't make the dispute between there is, then it's okay. This is first one. Second one is the maybe if you don't make the problem or the break the vows, then
If I, for example, would as a free person have a relationship with someone, but they were hiding the fact that they were actually in a relationship, am I committing a harmful act then?
yes,
Without knowing.
because you connect to them. If you are a good person, then you don't do it, and you do like this, then it's also a problem. Sorry. Yeah.
But if you don't know,
Hmm?
if you don't know.
Then you need to give education.
Thank you. Dasha also asks, Rinpoche, yesterday you told about the necessity of cutting disturbing thoughts and clingings during the practice time. How to do it? Because even if I determine to cut through, they continue to come to my mind automatically.
Of course, it's not easy. Therefore, we are practicing. Therefore, we are in the retreat. That you continue to struggle until maybe one day it doesn't come again. Others?
Yes? From one anonymous person. Rinpoche. Sorry for question, but in the list of improper sexual actions, there are some that don't seem harmful. For example, masturbation or sex in the daylight. Could you explain why such actions are considered as harmful?
Very short way. Maybe if you are, maybe it's like a superiority way. It's everything's followed this text as wonderful. Yes, and but it's like to resumingly to say if you do not harm me to others, that's the most important. This is the most important. If you harm one person, so you make the disappointment, then it's a sexual misconduct.
Thank you. From Anatoly, Buddha and Guru Rinpoche had wives. Question: did Patrul Rinpoche have a wife? What conditions should one fulfill if going to separate from one's wife?
Patrul Rinpoche, he was.
He's asking if Patrul Rinpoche had a wife.
I never heard. Maybe yes, maybe not. I never heard. Okay, maybe you can to research more.
she asked, what conditions should one fulfill if going to separate from one's wife?
Who is question?
Anatoly. Question.
Prepared to the separate.
What conditions should one fulfill if going to separate from one's wife?
Disagreement. And selfish. Non-supporting. Then that's all. And others?
Yes. Dinara Zai. Rinpoche. Thanks. Question. Are depressive states of mind the result of negative past karma? How can you work with these emotions?
Negative karma on the past.
Are depressive states of mind
Precept.
depressive states of mind depressive states of mind
Perceive.
depressive
Pressure.
depression.
Okay. Depressed, yes? And? Okay. Depressed.
Is it a result of negative past karma?
Oh, now I understand. Absolutely, yes, of course. Depressed is painful. It is like an unhappy. Therefore, depressed, yes? Then there is surely negative karma.
How can you work with these emotions?
And now struggling with dharma. But then it's good. And the other questions? Okay, very good questions. Answer is the fantastic, okay? Particularly Masha's answer, Russian and Japan. That is the most crucial point. One is like kind of the positive practitioners, and how do you say, repayment is brought into Japan. And the other one is like repayment, very anger. It says, born in Russia. That's all. Okay, maybe we can stop there. No questions. So now, do you have Sondo Parman? Okay. Sapun solendro gandrova sho mahon benzangaro pe masada ho royan nanda lodr nyime ba sardon gome de ton long kuza hinkama je kopa cha sondo parjero shevar sho dorje da tu sanjar chunko koroni na sho ngaya long ke sondo pa o shevar sho sanza po tsawa de chen jong bu to de ji ke pa le men kan ru chung go go mo zun kan sam de ni khwakti tsawa ya la ka ye lo sho nga ban de ya na yo pe la yo Shalom Bame Sonta Yendo Sondo Barjero Shever Show Jante Lomba Jarin Dona Pag Tawa Tashi Shavandaya Gojanta Barache Chuko Dudan Dadan Tadopu Sandu Parjuru Hivarisho Bishinton Tich Nisime Jotu Santupu Trison Rinza Shaso Damara Nisan Jujradon Dalajo Sandu Parjuru Hivarisho Devala ranchen se pe manya de ten de che kan de ron yon pe man jon kasmarin de jazre lona yu atonye shi je sharva yantrale shu che kan do che par po yer Drva shiva choja pa min je sondo par je rvo shivar shu Yije charna jabu rinzana usar dur ji rungun jamsal Yanje charna pabu pendar na shidrum nyatun roli chu drabur Sondo par je rvo shivar shu Takru pansam jimbong nyingat Tetan Trip Chinchona, Tibar Kolo La Huchi, you may gombo zerje turjunza, sondo parjero shiver show. Chin Panjaka, Pavandra Kaladon Lamunkin, Durji Lagar Minter Tabo, yo, Shon, Son, Choton to Parashi. Parjero shiver show. Tilong yarme kunze no shana pe maji ten on shula chambe chinkuru samin korji na to pacha dadan tarva she sondo parje rvo she varasho te te chuka shen ka nyagarva yano ye she nimbo kandas non tari pon kola da chu tana ten kro gomba nyamban changli chen Sondo parje rvo shivar sho Goye kanye jarvo chimbo ye Lasa de je ka Ponya nim ate tam sandar Tam chen jan su par ta jang adon Sondo parje rvo shivar sho Hinge ko par sartabane Shuru yarjo sondo par la Yechen ongari pi manden tu ron ma je shingi kopun ron sondo pare ngombar sho che perche zo samu tender je sasan kongin da patur ni chon ni sondo pare poron He rorba zarzo ne rori penjo je don jarva sho So yor tonga male langi baraga ni zon kande chep Teli dorje te pa sancho ni che pervo sar zopa chembo ya Tamo maya ye shi lam sa sharme lupa ngondo zoni Yayin pe ma vata torba sho karte gomba tsarche marzona Sonde mala topu in pemba ya nambin chewa tsentab shon Pe ponya kandu kankeme ngonslo pan kasar ni zonte Kachen zadon gana na ta ta do chon pe ma vata trapra sho Chui nambara top dembara tong Sutta san janso tu ye ye Daka mamba ye janda jer Mbu te pan ye pa sho Shon chu san chu rambo je ma ye pa na Ye ba nyam ba me pa Sho san chen ne pa chen ye pa Nyer de ne le ta jer chin ro ne na ma le pa Ta den jong me pa Malan tada demba ton songa de jon de pa ton kandro sembo la so son don la dele samba ye jon de pa ton Kongri Rabi Korwa Hian Kansa Pendon Deva Malu Unjong Ni Hian Seon Tenza Bardo Danger Je On Benza Sato Sa Maya Mani Ba